Welcome to Azzkikr Customs. You're in our inner circle here in our service shop. We're going to introduce to you our Vancouver Connect bike. Originally this bike started as a requisitioned by the Connects to do fundraiser for the Johnny Connect House, and we're just waiting to finalize that with the Vancouver Connects at this point in time.
Perfect. So tell the readers of the Busted Knuckle and users of beltdrivebetty.com the details on the bike itself. What size of engine? Tell us a little bit about the fabrication process and what makes this bike so special besides the Canucks logo.
Okay, this is our rifle frame. So it's a soft tail. You can see it's got a unique design. So it looks like it's a rigid, but really it's a soft tail. Shocks are hidden underneath. Frame looks like it's continuous, but it breaks for the soft tail. It's got a 250 rear tire on it. It's got, I guess what makes it really unique is the 26-inch front wheel. Trails at +2 on the bike, so it rides perfect. Motor is an S&S 107. It's pushing it'll probably dyno 110 horse, 110 foot-pounds of torque. It's got a unique belt drive. It's got cross-cut belts. You can see it near the bottom there. There's a lot of custom billet work on this bike to signify the success of the Connects through the 2011 season. Paint is all done in-house. Seats all done in-house. It's got a hand-tooled seat, so you can see the logos look to appear as if it's wood set in, and the seat's all hand stitched.
All hidden controls. The 26-inch tire on the front end of this thing, that rim, is that handmade here in the shop, or is that?
No, that's a custom billet piece. 26s have been out for a couple of years now. They're pretty hard to come by. Rubber's only made at one place called Z Rubber in Europe, so you have to bring in a fair bit of inventory for that. Besides that, I guess it's just the hand craftsmanship to put it all together. So it's not only a piece of art, but it's a very rideable bike at the end of the day.
Okay, that's wonderful. You have an extremely full and busy shop here, as we can see. Tell us a little bit about this number 39 bike.
This number 39 bike is Bad News Bears. It's got a high performance TP motor in it. As you can see, the front end's being changed again. This bike is very well built, custom chopper. We've been riding it for 3.5 or 4 years. That's my son Gord's bike.
Perfect.
These other ones are on here. This is just this is a soft tail we just customized for a customer. So just give it more of a sporty back end and a custom paint job. Bike that we've been working on, it's an RC51. This is actually my bike. So we just have completely redone it from top to bottom. This is a Big Bear GTX chopper, which they brought out to be a bagger. So we've taken it apart and we're redoing the sheet metal on it, and we're going to give it a 26-inch front wheel and a completely different look. Basically a brand new bike, but it had quite a bit of different look on it. And you can see what's unique about this bike. It used to come with a small, almost like the old coffin tanks. So it only had 1.5 gallons up top and 3 gallons down below. So now we're putting a 6-gallon tank up top. So this thing will have 9 gallons of gas. I don't know who's going to ride it that far, but this is basically. Do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely.
This is a customer. It's an old Yamaha. Our customer built it about 12 years. It's actually Yamaha Virago. And our customer built this. We didn't build it. He built it about 12 years ago. sat, never did run. So we brought the bike in here. We just tore the motor apart and didn't have to redo anything. We just had to make sure everything was operating, changed up all the bearings, and got it running for our customer. And since then, now he wants to take it apart. He wants it a bunch more gold plating. So I don't know where he's going with this, but he's dumping a lot of money into a Yamaha Virago. Loves his bike.
Absolutely, don't we all?
Yep. This is a custom. This is kind of unique too. This custom was built back in the 70s, and we redid it 3 years ago for a customer in Kamloops. So he just brought it back in. We just kind of just going over it, giving it a go over. So he's got it for the spring.
You guys do a lot of tune-ups and that type of thing for your customers?
Yeah, we get 3 full licensed Harley mechanics. So our shop is full service shop, anywhere from frame motors and up. We got a quick change bay, so we're doing tires, oil changes. So a lot of our customers will drop in here if they got to change a rear tire. They're just waiting around. We got it back to them in a couple hours.
What other services do you offer here? Out of province inspections, those types of things?
Yep, and we're ICBC approved, so we do probably anywhere from 8 to 12 ICB claims a year. Mostly on the custom bikes if they've been dropped. We just had one over here. Actually, I'll show you. Let's get around back here. This bike I moved. This rocker here, this Harley rocker was dropped. So it was an ICBC claim, and then the customer just decided he wanted to do something a little bit more. So we completely yarded everything out, repainted the frame, tank, did all the custom graphics and the flames and so on. This is unique here.
Okay.
This one here is a Sportster. And what we did here is took the front end off, changed it, put a Springer, cut the back end off, and changed it into a rigid. So we took what was a Sportster that would probably never get ridden again, and just redid it and made it into a hot rod. So someone that has a $3,000 or $4,000 Sportster could have something like this for, would be into it probably 14 or 15 grand.
So you have a Chevy trike over there. What's the story on that thing?
It's a story. It's just projects that just get going a little bit sideways on us. We built 3 or 4 V8 choppers, and then we got into the trikes. So this is just was our first crack at building the trike, this is a great bike, but I guess from our standards a little bit too domestic. So the thinking here is changing it up. So come back in 6 or 8 months, you'll see completely different bike, different design. I mean, we're keen on finding something that works with V8s. And I'll tell you a couple of reasons why. Number 1, powertrains are half the price. And number 2, the motors don't get hardly any work. So a V8 bike will last a lifetime.
Right.
Never have a problem with it. And these run great. They seem to be an egg of their own. And a lot of people look at them first crack and say, car motor and a bike just doesn't go. But it really does. It goes good. We can do a quick walk through the fab shop and the paint shop. Give you a quick idea what's going on there. Okay, all our paint's done in-house. So Keem here is painting a custom chopper. You can see what he's doing when he's laying out the graphics here. It's already been painted once. It's still bone white, is it not, Akeem?
It's white underneath. There's areas that's white, and then there's areas that's metal flake. So all this graphic will be covered in a green candy, and then that'll come off and reveal the white underneath. It's like a cream white underneath.
So basically all the bikes you see of ours are painted by ourselves in our shop. I'll show you in here. We got a couple helmets in here. I'll show you what the finish of this thing is going to kind of look like. It's like our mudroom, so do a lot of the body prep in here. So this work is going to turn out, these are just some helmets that he's painted. But I'm looking for, the helmet's not here. Carl's helmet isn't here, is it?
It is. It's on the bench. This bench.
Yeah, okay. That's what we want to see. So the bike we looked at there, this is typical kind of that finish that you're going to see on it. So he's got the silver and the black, then when he oversprays it with the green candy, that's the effect he's going to get. You know, this one was kind of painted like the Rockstar bike that's up front that we looked at. Just gives you an idea of the depth. This one he painted for me. He's got actually got every one of my bikes in here somehow. His thinking is with this is just to try and demonstrate what we can actually do with paint.
Very talented. These are some of the renderings and ideas.
This is kind of where he puts his thought into what he wants to do for, you know, either bike build creation or a paint theme, or, you know, we get something going. We just ordered this frame up here, which we'll take when it gets here, and which will give us our basic engineering. Then we'll create our design out of the frame. This one here is already in the works. That'll be going on the bench. That's already half done insofar as our fab work, so that'll be getting completed shortly. But this is kind of how it starts. Gonna get our hand sketch, and then we go from that to 3D to making the creation.
Well,
Here's a bike here, Eldorado. This is the bike we built for the biker build-off at Sturgis North, which we won.
the one that you got the belt buckle yesterday for.
That's right, correct. So I don't know where you want to start on this. There's so much into this bike. It's basically everything from the frame to the sheet metal to the fairing. It's all handmade for the customer. So
These are saddlebags, are they not?
Yep, these are both functional saddlebags. I don't have the key for it right now, but they unlock from the bottom. This is all how the hydraulics and it comes up. He wanted that hot rod type look with the Bentley kind of back end, and this is what we came up with. So it's a fair bit of a process when you start having to make your bucks and your molds in order to get, you know, a set of saddlebags and a fairing that you're never gonna probably build again. I think if you want to know about Azzkikr, you can get all you want off the internet.
Yeah, there's a ton of information about this bike available.
Yeah, and this bike, I was told 5 weeks ago by a guy in Europe, sent me a link. It's the 8th most popular bike in the world right now. This is the 39 Special we just looked at on the board. So we did the frame and the front end and did all that last winter, and got on to some different projects and just kind of put it back on the shelf. So this is going on the bench next week. So we're doing, for our TV series, we're doing 2 bikes that are similar but completely different, but have the same kind of engineering to them. I'm talking about from front end and frame. So they're going to be similar but very, very different.
You mentioned TV series. That's something that most of the readers of the Busted Knuckle won't have been aware of yet. What exactly is going on with that?
We just finished doing our trailer, and it looks like we got one network that wants to pick us up right away, and there's 7 other that we're talking to, so probably watch it on TV in the fall.
And what's the name of it going to be? Do you know?
It's called Living the Dream.
Living the Dream.
Living the Dream.
You promise you will send us more information as that comes available, right?
As soon as I can release it.
Okay.
That's just a chopper we built for a customer. He's actually hauling some stuff down to Arizona for me this week, and he'll be taking this down there. He wants to ride it down to the Grand Canyon and take some pictures and do his thing, so we'll be doing that with him. This is just a muscle-bound chopper. A short little chopper that goes like hell, and super, super reliable.
Sure.
And probably the most unique thing about this bike, and I've built like 3 or 4 of them like that, this is a chrome moly frame. So there's more movement in this frame structurally than you would have in a soft-tail bike. So this is a very, very comfortable bike to ride. So all those naysayers that say rigids are too old to ride a rigid, here's one you can ride.
It's all about the frame.
Yeah. Same with this one over here. This is another one of my bikes, but it's got a chrome moly frame, and I've built this bike 3 times differently. So choppers are out, but I guess in the bottom of a lot of our hearts are still in. So this is a daily rider.
I noticed that you have a whole ton of exotic vehicles kicking around. Tell me a little bit about those.
Yeah, these are stuff we bring in from the U.S. So we started bringing in just odds and sods because we're moving stuff across the border for customers.
Yeah.
And it just evolved into, a mid to high-end car business. So we find them down in the U.S. and bring them up.
Something like this Lamborghini. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, it's an 04 Gallardo. Very low miles. I think this has got 30,000 miles on it. Maybe, no, I think it's less than 30,000. Anyways.
That looks like more fun than you can have with your boots on.
Yeah, it's a 500 horsepower, 2,800 pound car. So a lot of fun.
You have a beautiful BMW sitting there.
Yeah, and we have anything from Audis, BMWs to which are probably that range of vehicles, probably our biggest mover. But we're also those mid-sized SUVs like Porsche and BMW and Land Rover seem to be in big demand. So anytime we see one at a good product at a decent price, we're bringing it up. And they're probably 30, 45 days on the lot, which is good. Most car dealerships now are 60, 90.
Right. And would you, if a customer came in and said, I'm looking for a specific vehicle, would you then go on the hunt for them?
Yep. If it was unique, say it was something like this, it was unique, we'd look for a retainer, and then we'd go out and find the car that they want. And then we would buy it when they said, okay, that's what I want. If we can't buy it at the right price, then we move on.
Perfect.
But this one's just a shadow under 100 grand, which is a great buy in this car. This car new is 400,000 bucks. So when we see something like that, we get an opportunity. It's just right place, right time. Pick it up, even though we know it's a harder vehicle to move. When someone does buy it, they're going to be satisfied with the price.
So how can people find Azzkikr Customs?
Easy. www.azzkikr.ca on the internet. or 19358 Fraser Highway in Surrey, BC, Canada.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for your time, Len.
Yeah, thank you.
Some gorgeous machinery and eye candy for people to look at. Definitely worth coming down and taking a look at, and who knows, they just might be walking away with a little piece of Azzkikr Customs in their
If not, they'll likely come back later.
Great.